Hello! Today I am excited to read Danitra Brown Leaves Town, written by Nikki Grimes and illustrated by Floyd Cooper. This is the sequel to Meet Danitra Brown, which I read a few weeks ago, and like Meet Danitra Brown, this is another book of poems. So let's find out what Danitra and Zuri are up to this time. Danitra Brown Leaves Town. Big plans. School is out soon, and Danitra's advice is surrender to summer, to raspberry ices and pink lemonade and walks on the beach and at least one trip to the zoo, one Ferris wheel ride, one family barbecue, one Sunday school picnic, but never a lick of homework to spoil one afternoon. The bad goodbye. Danitra talked a blue streak about her summer trip all week, and now that she is on her way, she has the nerve to call and say which station she is leaving from, as though expecting me to come. I have better things to do, I blurt. The phone is silent. Danitra's hurt. But why am I supposed to care when my supposed to be best friend is leaving me and loving it? Noticing Nina. Summer insisted on starting for no good reason that I could see. I was alone, with nowhere particular to be. One day Nina from the neighborhood said she wondered if we could play a little handball. I'm famous for the game, but I never knew that Nina liked it too. She and I spent hours slamming that ball against the corner drugstone wall, wearing a hole in the bricks. Later we talked and laughed a while, and after we said goodbye, I wondered why I'd never noticed Nina before. Maybe the summer wouldn't be such a bore. The letter. I sat frowning by my window when the mail truck came today, with a letter from Danitra, who is many miles away. I said mean things when she left me. I was so mad at her then. Was she writing to forgive me? Or to say I'm not her friend? I ripped Danitra's letter open, in spite of my worst fear. I bit my lip until I read, I wish that you were here. First night. Dear Zuri, I wish that you were here. I camped out my first night in my aunt's backyard. Sleeping was hard, with all the sparkling beauty hanging overhead. Nightlights, Zuri, everywhere. Clusters of fireflies dancing round my head, keeping me from bed for hours. And the sky! I've never seen one so blue-black, like a thick overcoat all buttoned up with stars. At midnight, I stretched my arms out to slip the darkness on, and open my eyes again at dawn. Block party. Dear Danitra, tomorrow you're gonna miss those giant speakers hissing and blasting loud, fast music into the crowded street. There'll be no sense in my trying to keep still. You know how that hot, hot dance beat sizzles up through the concrete, grabbing hold of my feet. In a blink, I become a hip swinging, head bobbing, foot stomping, fancy dancing fool. The dare. Dear Zuri, the kids here pretend to be tougher than they are. I ignore it mostly because they're nice in their own way. Besides, I think they may just be trying to impress the city kid. Today, they dared me to climb up into a tree, and of course I did. Then they yelled, "Okay, Miss Big Tom Brown, jump down." Now, my mother taught me to use my head for more than a hat rack. So I climbed back down and said, A dare is fine with me, but jumping from a tree is stupid, and I'm no fool. Then I heard someone whisper, she's pretty cool for a city girl. Zuri at bat. At the softball game last week, smart-mouthed JT snickered loud and said, "What makes you think a puny girl like you can help us win?" "Exactly where have you been?" I asked him, stepping in. When the pitch came, I slammed the ball so far, it ripped through the clouds and headed for a star. I strutted round the bases, took my own sweet time. My new friend Nina laughed and bet JT he couldn't hit a ball as far as me. He can't, and that's a fact. A different Danitra. Dear Zuri, you'd probably laugh if you saw me now. I'm not exactly behind a plow, but still, here I am in the dirt, on hands and knees, yanking weeds, watering roses, dodging man-eating wasps, and one stubborn dragonfly, who I'm convinced wants me for lunch. I have a hunch you'd like it here. There's a lake near, and tomorrow I thought I might go skinny dipping. Oh. Zuri's 4th of July. We had the day all to ourselves to search for seashells on the beach, to eat corn dogs and candied apples, to stroll a while and talk, and skip along the boardwalk, just Mom and me. Seeing my mom skip was worth the stuffy subway trip it took to get there. The holiday seemed barely long enough to measure, but I loved spending the day with my mom next to me, the pretty brownness of her eyes and face glistening in the light of the late night fireworks. Danitra's family reunion. On the 4th of July, my cousins and I ran sack races, played kickball and tug-of-war before we heard our stomachs growl. We stopped for deviled eggs, buttered corn, coleslaw, fried chicken, potato salad, and strawberry pie jubilee. We sipped lemonade and listened to Grandma Brown's stories of when our folks were little. Then Uncle Joe handed out prizes for this year's graduates and for the best all-round student, which I won. By the time the day was done, I was full of fun and food and warm feelings, knowing that I am more than just me. I am part of a family. Dream places. Dear Danitra, since you left, I put a map on my bedroom wall. I stick gold stars on all the places I'll travel to someday. Zaire, Hong Kong, Bombay. I find each city in my geography book, look up the facts and figures, and write them down in the diary I keep beside my bed. I lay my head back on the pillow, close my eyes, and see myself, a little older, walking down an African street, soaking in the heat of the sun. Home again. A good hello is knowing when we're far apart at heart, we're still together, and being glad you're home again, 'cause that is 10 times better. The end. So I hope you enjoyed Danitra Brown Leaves Town. I really like these books. I think it's amazing how Nikki Grimes is able to make these two characters come to life and be so real and have so much personality just from a handful of short poems. And I also really like her writing style and how she mixes up her rhymes, all through the poem. It's not like she rhymes at the end of every sentence. It's really interesting. to try to find the rhymes where she puts them, and sometimes she doesn't rhyme, and sometimes she does. So, and I just really like her writing style, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. So, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.